and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial. We're in that Honda NSX there. What a classic car that is. And we're at Interlagos, if you haven't already guessed, by the SENNA S right there. We're on sports hard tyres. I've put this difficulty at medium. Some people will find this very easy. Some people will find it hard because it does have some oversteering there. You are adjusting to weight transfer and such. So the goal estimate around a 149.7. I reckon people are definitely going to get into those 46s. But let's see what happens and see who competes as well. Now, if you do enjoy this video series or this video in general, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. And if you have access to that hype button, hit the hype button. It helps out the video massively. So let's jump into this one then. We're going to head towards turn number 1. And on the right hand side here, there are 2 markers. Now, I use the stairs on the right. I can just see it in my peripheral vision. However, you may want to use the 100 board instead, but you're braking before you get to that. So your choice is the stairs or the 100 board. So pick and choose there as you like. Now, you're going to drop down either to 3rd gear or 2nd gear. Now, I've just slowed it down to 50% just to help with this. 2nd gear will give you a bit more rotation, and you want to be as far left possible as you come out of this first part of the S, okay? So 2nd gear does help, but 3rd gear is more stable. So we start to accelerate now. We're going to go up to 3rd gear, and you want to lift off as you get to this curb here, okay? That will keep the car balanced. Then we're going to accelerate a little bit more. And as we go through this left, you're going to see me adjust my throttle there to half. That's to let the car stabilize. We've just gone over a couple of bumps there with the curbs. And because of that, the weight's just transferring it all over the place. So if I just go 50% throttle, the weight starts to settle. Then I can go to 100%. I'm not going to get the oversteer in the middle of the corner, and I can continue on. We get to this next brake marker then. On the right-hand side there, we've got this sort of like marker there. I can't explain what it is, but essentially I see that and I brake before I get to that. Now, you can brake at it, but you're going to go a little bit deep. It looks like a bit of drainage, to be honest with you. But brake before it, so a distance mark here, and you're going to drop to 3rd gear. Now, you want to release the brakes and chuck the car into this one, okay? Let's see how I chuck it in. I'm going to clip the curb. I've got a little bit of oversteer, but it's nothing major. I'm lowering the power band, so when I go on the throttle here, it'll just settle itself. I use the curb on the exit. Do not go over the curb because it gets very slippy over there. Then I can continue on through. We're going to head over towards the left-hand side now for the double apex right-hander here at Interlagos. Now, we've got 2 markers here. We've got the 100 board, so you're braking after the 100 board, but you're braking before the marshal box. So essentially, you're braking in between these 2 brake markers, okay? It's very easy to do when you're actually racing. Initially, you go, well, this seems a bit early, but trust me, brake early for this one. So I dropped to 3rd gear. I want to clip the first curb. I'm then going to go out a little bit due to the understeer. And then I'm instantly going to go on the throttle here just to balance the car. Notice I'm adjusting the throttle. Now, I did want to clip the 2nd curb there, and I didn't. So I did miss it a little bit there. That cost me a little bit of time. And a little bit of a wiggle on the exit there because the car is reaching the top end of its power band. Obviously, a bit of oversteer. So the McDonald's tyre marks I always talk about here are your next brake marker, but you're braking before you get to them, okay? You can see where that is here on Chase Cam as well. You want to brake early for this one because you want to cut the inside of this corner a lot. Now, I actually run a little bit deep here, so I've hit the brakes a little bit too late. I'm trying to compensate for that, but you can cut this a little bit more, and you'll actually benefit from another 1/10 of a second there. So we're going to continue on through here then, and we get to the next brake marker, which is the start of the curb on the left-hand side. Now, for this one, it's all about trail braking and just allowing the car to get round this corner. If you go too aggressive into this, you're going to go too deep, get a load of oversteer, and struggle on the exit. It's all about balancing the car. That's what we're going to come into here. I'm just dabbing the brakes a little bit here, there, and everywhere. And notice I'm just letting the car roll now. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling. Now, what I'm actually looking for is that green on the inside of the curb. Now, you're saying, Tidge, you saw it ages ago. I did. So when I start seeing that, I know I'm about to accelerate. As it starts to hit the edge of my screen, that's when I really want to be on throttle. Now, because this car is mid-engine rear-wheel drive, when you go on the throttle here and you're going uphill, a lot of the weight will settle on the rear of the car. So just straighten up a little bit and just continue on, and the car will settle itself. You don't have to worry as much about power oversteer. We're going to continue now towards the right-hander here, and you've got 2 markers. So on the right, you've got the curb, and on the left, you've got the dark green stuff there, okay? You can use either of these 2 markers for this right-hander. So as they hit the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Now, you're going to be as far left as possible as you go into this. I reckon you can do this a bit tighter than I did here, and you don't have to be as far left, but I reckon far left is better because it's going to give you a nice angle to go through the corner and reduce the oversteer on the exit, which is hard to compensate for if you struggle with catching oversteer. Notice I can go straight away. We're going to continue on down here up to 3rd gear. And as we go into this corner, I'm just going to lift off the throttle a little bit just to allow the car to slowly balance itself and make sure I don't get too much understeer on the exit. We then go full throttle. We don't want to go too wide on this exit, so that's the limit of where you want to go. I go up to 4th gear here. You don't have to go to 4th gear. You can hit the limiter. It'll cost you a tiny bit of time, but then obviously you don't have to literally start dropping gears like crazy. So there's a big cross there on the right hand side in the catch fence. That is my brake marker for this left-hander. So that's what I'm using here, right? I'm going to go hard on the brakes now. I'm going to drop to second gear and then I'm going to release the brakes, turn in, I want to clip the curb and instantly go on the throttle here. I then want to straighten the car up a little bit just to allow the car to settle itself. I use a little bit of the curb there, only the first part. Then I'm up to third gear and I can continue towards the line. You have to do that corner in second gear. Third gear is so much slower. You do not want to do it in third gear. I tried this out. If you are looking for stability and you're well within the goal time, then maybe it's worthwhile doing if you are struggling a little bit there. But second gear, very much better. Stay towards the inside here then to finish your lap, and that is a 1:47.444, which is kind of a nice number, to be honest with you. We go now to the pad lap then, the controller lap. So we're looking for the 100 board down the right side, other stairs. We are going to hit the brakes. So we're in third gear right now. Notice how I do it in third gear. Just struggle a little bit more with understeer. However, we're trying to get as far left as possible. We're going to lift a little bit there for the curb, as I discussed. We're then going to accelerate through here. Now, I do have to come off the throttle a little bit here on the controller. Then I go back on once it's stabilized, and I can continue on through. Now, obviously, I only use the gamepad, the controller, once a week. So I'm going to be a bit more rougher on here, but I'm still showing it's possible. So look for the drainage there. Brake just before we get to that there. Drop to third gear. We're going to chuck the car in now. We clip the curb and instantly go on the throttle. Now, I delayed my throttle a little bit there, which did cost me a little bit of time. We're going to continue on through here. We're going to head over towards the left-hand side. Remember, the next brake marker is up between the 100 and the marshal box. So where is it? There it is. We can hit the brakes. Turn in. When I clip the first curb, when I go out a little bit there. Notice I'm getting on throttle quite early. Do we clip the second curb? Pretty much, yes. Happy days indeed. Good corner. Now, we brake at the McDonald's brake marker, or just before it, should I say. We're going to turn in there. We're going to turn a little bit. Then we're going to brake at the start of the curb here. Try and keep it nice and tight. I usually go on throttle even more so on the controller because I can catch oversteer a bit quicker, as you see right there, as we continue on through here. So either side there is your brake marker for the curb. As we turn in here, once again taking a wider line here just to settle it on the exit. Notice there we don't get as much oversteer because we can just straighten up instantly go into here. We go through this left hander, we're going to lift off a little bit, clip the curb, then start to accelerate, get a little bit of oversteer here on the pad as we look for the cross on the right hand side there. We hit the brakes, drop to second gear, turn in. Now I just got the braking slightly wrong there, but even so on the exit there, straighten up as best as I can. We're going to continue now. You do want to get on the throttle early there because this is a long acceleration period, so the aggression on the last corner is critical, and you saw that right there. That's a 47.970. I didn't change gear at the line there, which is why I stayed in fourth gear, because it might just save a tiny bit of time. So once again, the 100 board stairs there for turn number one. As we turn into here, second gear, we're going to accelerate up to third gear. But you saw on the controller, you can do this in third gear. ABS is on weak for those that are wondering. There's no real big difference there. I just prefer ABS weak because I can feel I can rotate that car just that little bit more. So we're going to continue on now towards the left-hander. Remember, we're looking for the drainage on the right hand side, and we're braking just before we get to that drainage. There it is, and we're going to drop to third gear. We're going to release the brakes, chuck the car in, clip the curb, and instantly start accelerating. Let the car balance itself. Don't use over the curb, just stay on the curb there as we continue on through. Head over towards the left hand side between the 100 and the marshal box on the left hand side. You're going to hit the brakes. We're going to hit both of these curbs. We turn in, we're going to go out a little bit, we instantly start getting on the throttle, try and get to the second one. I do just miss it there, so a bit of time in that corner. McDonald's tyre marks, we're going to hit the brakes as we turn into here. Once again, we've gone a little bit deep there, so that's cost us a tiny bit of time, but we're going to continue on this lap all the same. So we're just letting the car do its own thing now. Once we see that green on the inside of the curve there, we start to accelerate, straighten up as quick as you can. So the curb on the right side is the best brake marker because it is a right-hander. We hit the brakes, we turn in, we clip the curb, instantly going to go on the throttle now as we accelerate down the hill. So over towards the left-hand side we go. Lift off a little bit if you are struggling here as well as we continue on through. Stay in third gear if you are struggling, or you can go to fourth there. It'll get you a tiny bit of time, nothing major. As we go to second gear now, we're going to clip the curb, and then we're going to continue on through, and then we're going to head up the hill and towards the line now, and that is that 1:47.444. Lewis's number essentially there. Right, so what we're going to do now is go to the VR lap here at Interlagos. So once again, we're looking for the 100 board or the stairs on the right side. I was looking for the stairs here in VR. It's much easier to see, and you can stay in third gear or drop to second gear. So notice here, I'll stay in third gear. I get it turned in very nicely there in third gear, so you can get it turned in nicely and give yourself a good line. You're going to see the steering wheel on this particular lap. You're going to see some of my reactions to some of the oversteer, which can happen quite a lot in this car, and it's all about making sure you don't slide. There is so much time lost when you slide the car, and you may have seen that in the controller lap. We're going to head towards left-hander then. The drainage is what we're looking for there. Braking just before that. We hit the brakes, we turn in. We're instantly going to go on the throttle now. Try and be as aggressive as possible. Notice that we don't use as much of the exit there, so some time to be gained here on the VR lap. We're going to head up here then. Remember, between the 100 and the marshal box on the left-hand side is what we're looking for. There it is. We hit the brakes, so we need to clip the first curb. Happy days. We go out a little bit. Are we going to clip the second curb? We should do. We're in VR. Pretty much there. Jobs are good. And a bit of oversteer there as we go into this right-hander. Notice here we're trying to get it cut in. And again, we do not cut enough there. In towards the left we go. Let's see how much oversteer we get on the exit this time then as we continue on through. Little catch there. Nothing major. So we're going to continue on here towards the right-hander. Start the curb on the right is the better one to use. We turn in, looking round the corner now because we can do that in VR as we accelerate down here. So we're going to go up to third gear, slight lift as we clip the curb, and then continue on through. We're going to go up to fourth gear on this lap. No, see, we stay in third gear. I'm glad I demonstrate this. I don't even remember what I do sometimes. And look at that. Happy days indeed. I know what to do, but sometimes I do different things depending on the lap and the situation. Right, we're going to head towards the line now then. So this is the VR lap done and dusted. This was a 1:47.8. I've shown you different ways to take some of these corners as well. So hopefully that is of help to you. But you're probably going, Tidge, how do I get 2 million credits? How do I even get to this point to actually even do the lap? Well, I am about to show you. As you see there, once again, I didn't change gear on the line. And that is just a nice little trick if you want to try and get the best lap time. So anyway, we're going to go to the main menu here. And what we're going to do is head to sport mode, which is in the top right-hand side. This is unlocked at level 10 on the cafe menu, by the way. So we go into here. We're going to go to the right-hand side here where we have the online time trials. Now, you've got a choice of 3 at the moment. We're interested in the one in the middle there, the Honda NSX at Interlagos. Essentially, a SENNA combo. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the left-hand side. So Dan Holland's at the moment has got the 47.0, and the gold time at the moment is a 150.2. That will come down, depending on the world record. It's a percentage of that time. Now, if you do want to watch my replays or actually follow my ghost, so in the session, you'll go to the same thing. You can go to global ranking. YouTube Tidgney is my record lap, obviously. Tidgney VR is obviously my VR lap, and the TCR_Tidgney is my controller lap. So if you want to follow a slower ghost, that will be there all week for you. That's going to be it for this time trial, though. So we are at a SENNA combination. Remember, the SENNA is famous for the Honda NSX, of course, and we are at Interlagos, Brazil, so the home of SENNA. So an interesting combo this week, a good combo. So fair play to Gran Turismo for this one. And if you have enjoyed this one, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. But that is going to be it for me. Remember, hit that hype button as well. Now, if you're struggling with some of the previous time trials, they are right there for you to check out. And do check out my partners down below as well. They help support the channel, as you do, by just watching this video. So I do appreciate it a lot. A big thank you for watching, as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.